everybody. So we've been learning about narrative writing. Remember, we are writing a story, and we talked about the beginning. The beginning of the story introduces who is in the story and where it takes place. So the characters in the setting. Yesterday, we talked about the middle of our story. The middle of a story is where important things happen or a problem occurs. And so we're now, of course, going to talk about the end of our story. So boys and girls, the end of our story is where the problem is solved. Okay, so and kind of what happens at the very end. And so for my story today, let me go ahead and stick up the end, because that's what we're talking about today. And so in my story now, I'm going to talk about the end. But first, let's go ahead and refresh our memories about Mrs. Holman's story. Remember, I use those good transition words too, and I'm going to tell you some words you can use at the end of your story too. So remember, transition word that I used at the beginning is one day, but remember, you could have used any other transition words you wanted. One day, Hannah, Zach, and Cassie were walking in a shady forest. Then, there's my other transition word, Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. So the three kids went left. They kept walking and walking. They realized they were lost. Okay, so I introduced the middle of my story by saying then, and I told you some important things that were happening, and then a problem was that they were lost. So now I want to show you some transition words that you could write for the end of your story. Okay, so here's some end transition words. We have the word finally, last, in the end, at the end of the, at last. We could use that big word in, conclusion, or even this word therefore, which we probably don't hear a lot. But you could use any of these words to end your story. The one that I chose today is in the end. Okay, and I'm sure you noticed how Mrs. Holman was running out of room here. So I added on, I have a little dry erase sign. So I wrote my ending, excuse me, on the dry erase sign. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hold it up. So let's see. There we go. So the transition word at the end is I used in the end. Zach and Cassie said, let's go back the way we came. They found the place where they started and went home. So just like in the end here, I had the solution written down, and the solution was they went back the way they came and then they went home. Okay? So boys and girls, for your job today, you are going to write the ending of your narrative. And again, I want you to start your ending. Isn't that funny? Start your ending with one of these words or one of these phrases. And then tell me the solution of your story. And then Friday, boys and girls, I would love if maybe your parents could record you reading your story and you could send it to me. That would be fantastic. I would love to see your faces and, just be able to hear your stories. Okay, so before we end our writing lesson today, I'm going to read my whole story like I would on Friday if I were presenting my story. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust it a little bit. Okay, there we go. One day, Hannah, Zach, and Cassie were walking in a shady forest. Then Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. So the three kids went left. They kept walking and walking. They realized they were lost. In the end, Zach and Cassie said, let's go back the way we came. They found the place where they started and went home. All right. So, boys and girls, again, I would love to hear you read your stories. Okay, well, happy writing and have a good day.